Go to the Union buildings now, where we're still monitoring a demonstration by religious leaders and members of their churches who want government to drop the COVID-19 restrictions on gathering. They say they want churches to operate at 100% capacity. Newzroom Afrika's Ahmed Kajee is live not too far from the Union buildings. Ahmed, how diverse is this group of churches there, and have they been able to hand over a memorandum or any official document to anyone there?
Good afternoon, Tembekile. There is a group of churches and representatives from across the country who have actually come through to the Union buildings to demonstrate and calling on government to lift the regulations on indoor gatherings as well as outdoor gatherings, which obviously affect the churchgoers and the church community. There hasn't been any update in terms of whether a memorandum of understanding or memorandum of demands rather will be handed over to government. In many ways, the organizers over here say that the main reason for this gathering is it shows that the number of overflow guests and worshippers which you normally would get from churches in and around the area. So all the churches which have 51 or more congregants, any of those additional members are more or less coming through to the Union buildings over here. But I'm going to just bring into the conversation Pastor Imran Makama, who is one of the organizers and one of the church supporters over here. Pastor, thanks very much for your time. Firstly, have you managed to perhaps hand over a memorandum of demands to anyone from government?
Not yet. We are planning to do so, but our message today was quite clear that we are actually demanding 100% capacity, because in our previous attempt in terms of dealing with the government in a way that which one might see as reasonable, and the government has not responded positively so. So today we gathered here not only to protest but also to pray for the nation, and also to make our message clear to the government that we are demanding 100% this time around, because we tried and call upon the government to say that at least allow the churches to operate under 50% capacity, the same as restaurants. But our voices seem to reach a deaf ear, and it's so unfortunate that we have to reach such an unfortunate state in a democratic country like South Africa, which is 80% Christians, but still we are being opened alongside with alcohol, alongside with social gatherings, which in my view they had contributed towards the third wave that which we had. Because you'd remember that before Passover they said that which churches should not be closed, should not be opened, because we ran a risk of what you call of increasing the infections, and that did not happen. And that only happened when the social gatherings were allowed. And yet, when every gathering is closed down, we are affected. But yet the church has been the most compliant. We've been the most compliant. We've been the ones that which have been observing social distancing, sanitizing, and doing all the COVID-19 regulations as the church.
Pastor, I'm just going to find out, things are wrapping up here within the next 20 minutes or so. What is your next step if government doesn't change the regulations? What will you do?
We are going to go the legal route. Yeah, we are going to go the legal route, and if that persists, we are going to voice out our concern through the ballot paper, because we are very much undermined as pastors and as the Christian community that if this government is not going to listen to our demands, we've been respectful towards this government, we've been supportive towards this government. They've been using our churches as campaign places. So the least that they could have done is to consult us, to sit down with us and take every concern that we have, in which they've not been doing so. So we are going to go to the courts. After the courts, during the elections, we are going to voice out our concerns. We are going to demonstrate.
Pastor, thank you very much for your time. There you have it, Tembekile. Organizers of this event and members from the church community say that if the church regulations do not change in the foreseeable future, they will simply take action through the ballot box. Tembekile.
Ahmed Kajee, live first on the lawns of the Union buildings this Sunday. Thank you, Ahmed.